my slam time. Gonna bust up your behind. This is my slam time. Gonna mess up your whole mind. This is my slam time. Gonna bust up your behind. This is my slam time. Gonna mess up your whole mind.
Welcome to Work the Left Side. I'm hyper hyped to announce tonight's guest. It is one half of the Badly Dressed Boys. It's Mr. Brandon Brooks. How are you doing, matey? You good?
I'm good, brother. How are you doing today?
Me, mate, I'm 5x5. I'm all good. In the words of Lou Nixon, too blessed to be stressed. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's good, isn't it? He said it on the episode.
Yeah.
I kind of stole it off him. He said it during the episode, and I was like, yikes, I'll take that. Thank you very much. I'm now having that. Too blessed to be stressed. No, it's just got a t-shirt written all over it, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah. He's got to get merch of that made.
So yeah, as I pointed out on social media earlier, again, you know, hopefully people watching this, followers on socials, they'll have seen. I put it earlier, you know, that's my first. I get to see a lot of people, obviously, via like, you know, Jeebus's Reels or YouTube, social media and stuff like that. I've had the pleasure of watching you in person at Tidal.
Yeah.
And it was after that match, I was just like, right, okay, I want to talk to this guy. This guy's awesome. You know, that was legitimately like the first impression of seeing somebody in person and just like, man, that was immense. So we'll jump around a little bit, but I just want to touch upon the Tidal match first, because that's a good starting point for me.
Yeah.
How did you find it, mate? Because obviously the Parish is a kind of cool venue. It was your debut as well, wasn't it, for Tidal?
Yeah. No, the venue was gorgeous. It was very intimate. Like, I've not really worked a venue like that, where it's like you're making your entrance through one half of the crowd, but then the other side of the ring, like the crowd is basically next to the ring. So it was like everything I was doing, I felt like I was just connected to people the whole time, which was like, I thought that was super dope. Like all of the staff there were like wonderful people as well. I had a great chat with the music guy on the day. Taj, who runs it, lovely woman. Like we had a wonderful conversation. She loved the match as well afterwards. Every time I seen her, she was like shaking my hand, telling me how much she enjoyed it and things, which was great. But like the main thing was just the crowd, like the energy in that room that people were giving off. Like I was buzzing for days after it. Like because obviously I made my entrance, come out to Labyrinth Earthquake, and like people started singing along, and I was like, oh damn, like I've never had a moment like that before. I was describing it to my friends as like my Seth Rollins moment, where like I've made my entrance and people are singing my music. I was like, okay, this is cool. And then obviously we did the match, everything flowed nicely. I won that one, didn't I?
Yep, after a freaking amazing a Poison Rana that just freaking popped the entire room.
The reaction for that Poison Rana was incredible. Straight into the disaster kick, which is my staple finish everywhere I go now. I call it the golden boot, like football's top scorers and things. Yeah. But yeah, hit that, got the free, and then Carl Kingsley rolled out quite quick, so I don't think he noticed. But as I looked around, there was like standing ovations going on, and I was like, "Oh damn! Like we have made an impact here." To say I was brought in just to wrestle Kingsley, like it was his ring hire, and they were like, "Oh, we just need someone to wrestle you," but like I think one or two people dropped out of the match due to personal reasons. I'm not sure what they are. So it was almost like fate that I was put in that position. And obviously I'm not a person to like prey on other people's downfalls, but I'm super grateful almost that I was given the opportunity at that time. And I was buzzing for days. Like, I was talking to all my friends in wrestling. I was talking to my friends outside of wrestling. I was like, fellas, I have had one of the best matches of my life. Like, in a moment where I needed to have a great match happened. And I couldn't have been more grateful for all of the circumstances that were like went into it. Of like, I didn't have a booking that day. I could get transport up there. Like, everything almost just fell into place for me to get there. And then even talking to the music man, he was like, "Can you send your music over?" And it was like, we did it all through airdrop. And I was like, that's the easiest I've ever done it before. So like, all of that stress was taken away on the day. And then like, after the match, I was shaking fans' hands, like people I've never seen in my life. They've never seen me, and they're like, "Kid, you've got something special." And I'm like, okay, all these words, like, they mean so much to me. And then I watched a couple matches after that, and then in the interval, I went downstairs and had some of the nicest food I've had at a wrestling show before. That venue, they do some good loaded fries.
They do, dude. That's the thing, though, mate. Like you sort of said, it just seems like the stars are aligned.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the who was meant to be kind of there was like travel issues that day, kind of thing. So
yeah,
as you sort of
yeah,
said, you're not playing on anyone's unfortunates. It's just the stars aligned. You're taking advantage of a situation, that
yeah,
you were presented.
exactly.
And as you said, though, mate, that was on a day and on a show where you had to deliver. You delivered. It would have been very understandable to be nervous, to be just like, oh, yeah, slightly off your game, or just a little bit like,
Yeah, yeah,
second behind. But no, it flowed. And it was a good match as well, because it was a big guy versus little guy kind of dynamic. Obviously, Kingsley's a big boy. He comes out with a
yeah,
freaking Thor looking Valhalla style get up. And then you
yeah,
come out with your snazzy shirt on, and it was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. But no, Parish, obviously, we're closely associated with Tidal. I love its piece. I think Parish is great. And the thing is, though, you're on a show. I'm pretty certain that as well. That was the show where Spike Trevette beat Scotty Rourke, in the
yeah,
main event.
yeah,
So, and your match was still one of the ones people were still talking about afterwards, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah.
So
That
for me,
blew
mate,
my mind as well.
yeah,
Like,
confidence
all of
wise,
the social media, like, aftermath from the show. Because, like, as I said, I did watch a few of the matches that were on there, and that was one of them. And I thought those boys absolutely killed this. Like, I'm gonna be forgotten, swept under the rug. Like, we got the reaction in the moment, but that was it. And then to wake up the next day and it's like, okay, I'm getting mentioned in like Instagram comments and Instagram stories, and then my Twitter's going off, and I'm like, oh, I've not been swept under the rug at all. This is incredible. And then obviously, I think you dropped a comment on the Jeebus reel, and then I dropped you a DM just being like, hey, thank you, man. Because like, I was overwhelmed by the support at that point. So I was just reaching out to people being like, thank you, dude. Like, it means a lot that you'd say these nice words. Like, thank you. Like, I really needed the confidence boost today. And then I didn't even realize that you ran this podcast. Like, I've heard,
it's a different one. Yeah, because obviously, I'm just on the
yeah,
pencil tree. I'm just pencil tree on
yeah,
Instagram. So yeah, a lot of people kind of make the connection.
yes. And then you were like, brother, I've got this podcast if you want to jump on it. And I was like, hell yeah, I do. Hell yeah, I do.
Yeah, come on, let's have a chat. And yeah, so I mean, that to me is it's an amazing start. It's just sort of hitting the ground running. The momentum from that, it's just awesome. And obviously, kind of once I saw that match, right, I've got to find more stuff. Look at this, look at that, look at this. Do some digging. Obviously, then find out you trained. It says in your profile, trained by Sticks. Like
Yeah.
penny drops, right? Okay, the dude's got a good pedigree. The dude obviously he knows his shit because he's been trained by somebody. He's been trained by like one of the fucking grandmasters of British wrestling.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll get the generic stuff done. Then obviously I'll just mention Sticks and obviously House of Pain. Was that your first stop? Is that your first school, or have you dipped your toe in elsewhere and then ended up at House of Pain, or was it just?
No, that was my first school. Um, House of Pain was actually the first, like, my introduction into wrestling, strangely enough. So the story of how I got into wrestling is very different to other people. Like a lot of people who you'll speak to will be like, I watched WWE as a child, fell in love with X superstar, really wanted to be like them, found a local school, got training. Mine's slightly different because House of Pain used to run shows in a town called Arnold in Nottingham. And my nan used to work in a little blue shop in Arnold. And one day, someone handed her a flyer or a poster she saw. I can't remember exactly what it was, but she saw advertising for this show at the venue. So she thought, oh, I'll take the grandkids along. So me, my granddad, and my older sister all went to watch a House of Pain show in Arnold. And then we went every month after that, bar 1 month, because my nan wouldn't let me go because it was textbook Dave Breaks versus LJ Herron in an I Quit match. And they were using weapons, and I was like, I think I was 10 or 11 at the time, so she wouldn't let me go and watch that one. But then we went to every show at that venue since my first one up until they left the venue, and then we lost them and we didn't know where they'd moved to. Obviously, I didn't have social media, and my grandparents are grandparents and don't know how to use social media. So when they moved from there, I was kind of like, damn, I've lost wrestling. Like, it's gone. And then I tried to watch wrestling on TV, and it didn't have the same feel because I didn't have the live atmosphere. I think that's what I fell in love with, is the atmosphere of being in the room, hearing all the strikes landing, hearing the loud crashes as people land, and then hearing the fans heckling, the fans cheering. I was like, okay, this is cool. And then you watch it on TV and you're like, I'm not involved. Like, I can't say my 2 pence to that wrestler, or I'm not supporting that wrestler because they can't hear me cheer because they're all the way in America on telly and this was pre-recorded last night, kind of thing. So I kind of stopped watching wrestling for a while. And then my mum's friend got us back into watching wrestling because there was a Southside show at Rushcliffe Arena. And we went to watch that. And I remember it was Mark Haskins in, is it the Speed King Championship?
Was it the Finn Balor one by any chance? Haskins versus Prince Devitt or
It
Finn Balor?
might have been. I can't remember who his opponent was, but I just remember it was a banging match, and I was like, I've got to jump at this opportunity. I can't lose wrestling again. So I was asking around for who ran Southside, and then I got pointed in this direction, and I went up to him, and I was like, "Look, man, like I know I'm young, but I really want to be a wrestler. Like I want to perform in front of crowds. I want to be on the other end of what I've just experienced. Like I want to be the guy who's in a ring." And he was like, if you go and talk to the big guy with the mohawk, he runs a school in Nottingham. And I remember absolutely bricking my pants when I saw him and bottled it. So I didn't go and talk to him, and I was gutted the entire car ride home. But then my mum's friend who took us there, he is an avid wrestler. Like, and I mean, avid wrestling fan. Like, he watches all the underground stuff. He watches indie shows, big name shows. Like, he can tell you about indie matches that happened 12 years ago and who won them, where they were, everything. His mind on wrestling is incredible. Um, and then he was like, "Look, I found House of Pain on Facebook. Like, they've actually got an open day this weekend." It was the Sunday the open day was on, and I was like, is that big mohawk guy gonna be there? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, right, I've got to take a friend with me or I'm gonna bottle it again. So I took my best friend from school, a lad called Leon. Me and him went to the open day, and my mum and sister came to watch it to like just keep me comfort. um and then I did the open day on a Sunday. I went to training on a Monday. I went to training on a Tuesday. I went and watched the advanced class train on the Wednesday. And that's when I realized that all of the people I grew up watching, I'm now in the same room with. And then we went to the shows on the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday, then the next weekend. And then ever since then, I was training every week. Um, but the reason I wanted to get into wrestling so bad is because when I used to watch the Arnold shows, I used to have this nightmare as a kid that I'd wake up in my bed and want to go and use the toilet, And one of the wrestlers from one of the shows called Barricade would drop out my attic hatch and chase me back to bed. So from a young age, I made it my life goal that I had to defeat this man. And I was like, the only way I can do this is if I become a wrestler and I beat him in a ring. We did eventually get a match against each other, but he beat me and now he's retired. So I could never actually complete my childhood goal of beating
Dude.
Barricade. But that's how I got into wrestling, which is like when I tell people the story, I get two reactions. I either get that is bloody mental, or I get you're joking. Like I don't believe that you're making that up. But that is genuinely how I got into it. At our training school, there is a big rack of DVDs, and anyone from House of Pain who listens to this, if you go and watch the DVDs from the Arnold shows, what I was about 10 or 11, so that would have been about 2012-ish, around that area, you will see a very small Brandon on the front row sat next to his grandma, because I am in near enough all of them, which is incredible.
That's awesome. I don't know if it was that show like you're on about, but I do know I've got it on DVD somewhere. I got it from a Southside DVD somewhere where it was Mark Haskins versus Finn Balor, or aka Prince Devitt.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that was in the Speed King tournament because I'm a Nottingham boy. You know, I used to go to Southside a lot. I used to live near Arnold. Arnold Park was my local hangout back in the day, kind of thing. So yeah, I kind of know that side of things very well. I miss Southside. I'll shout out to Ben. Obviously, was the guy.
Yeah, Southside was incredible.
Southside. Oh, man, it was awesome. Back, during that time, they just got so many names over. Like you've seen Jay Lethal. I think I remember seeing Jay Lethal versus like a really young Robbie X, and just
Yeah.
it was just dude. So yeah, basically, then you've been training. So how old were you then when you started? Was it about 15, 16 then when the House of
I
Pain
was
thing came about?
15 when I started training. I started training in March of 2017. I remember it because for my mum's birthday, we went to a wrestling show because I refused to miss one because I'd only just started training, and I was adamant that we were going to all of the wrestling shows forever now because I'm not losing wrestling again. And her birthday fell on a show, and I was like, I'm sorry, Mum, but we're going to go. Like, it's happening.
I love it.
Luckily, she's quite supportive with wrestling and was like, yeah, we'll go. Like, that's fine.
Nice, good parenting 101. Awesome. But I totally get what you're saying in regards to, especially like, yeah, most people go to watch live wrestling because they watched on TV, so they're kind of ingrained to just having that disattachment already through the TV kind of thing. Whereas if you get into wrestling because the first thing you've ever seen is a live show, that's the hook. Like you said, that just being there, that atmosphere, the noise, the ruckus, the electricity. I've got a boy, he's like 6 years old. I've started taking him to like Tidal and Planet Wrestle and a few other places kind of thing. He won't watch on TV, it bores the crap out of him. But
yeah, I've really struggled to watch wrestling on TV now. So like if later on in this episode, if you try and talk to me about like WWE or AEW, like I'm really going to struggle to hold a conversation about it because I struggle to watch it. Like I've seen like bits and bobs of like some of the big stuff that went on, like the Shield, I know about that, and like now the Bloodline, I know what's going on with them. But like more like the mid-carders, I really struggled to know who they are because I didn't really watch that kind of stuff because I couldn't sit through it.
To be honest with you, dude, I'm much happier talking about British wrestling. I ain't watched AEW for just over a year. I ain't watched WWE for about 2 years. I legitimately just generally watch British wrestling now, kind of thing. So either in person or on YouTube and stuff. There's just that much stuff out there. There's only so many hours in a day.
There's so much wrestling to watch now. It's incredible.
Crazy, isn't it? Like I said, I've got a 6-year-old. If I'm not keeping him busy by playing on the Switch or doing random games, then I'm doing this or I'm doing something else. So I mean that's a good starting place. I mean, like I said, House of Pain, Southside, that's a good sort of first experience. Obviously you're 21 now, so you've been training for what, 5-6 years?
I'm 22 now.
Are you 22 now? Sorry, dude.
Yeah,
you need to update your Twitter bio. It says 21.
Oh, does it? I'll do that when we hang up then. I didn't realize that. 22. So I've been training for 7 years. As I said, I started training in the March of 2017, and then I debuted in December of 2017. At the time of my debut, I felt like quite rushed because I was like, it was about 9 months that I'd been training, and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this, but like I had so many people around me helping me while I was training. Um, this isn't like good advice to follow, but what I used to do is go to school with my rucksack with no school things in it and just take all of my wrestling training stuff. To the point that like I didn't even have pens in lessons. So I'm having to like scrounge pens off people every lesson, and like I'm getting told off by teachers all the time, like, "Oh, Brandon, you're not paying attention to this Of Mice and Men book." And I'm like, "Yeah, because I trying to remember what I learned in training last night because I'm going back tonight and want to re-practice it." But then I was quite lucky because it was one bus from my school to the House of Pain training school. So I just leave school, get on the bus, go straight to training, walk into training in my school uniform, quickly get changed, jump in a ring. And like I had people like Kyle Kingsley, like took me under his wing quite early on. Uh, a guy called Dukin. He was quite like a big guy at House of Pain, like an established name. Um, People like Diamond Dave Andrews, LJ Heron, Danny Chase, like all these guys who I grew up watching are now taking me under their wing and like teaching me how to wrestle and helping me and stuff. And like Kingsley was an absolute godsend for me, um, because he just gave me that tough love of like I'd go to a wrestling show and he'd be like, we were actually talking about this the other day at Wrestle Island. Um, we were setting up the ring there, and we were talking to Joey Slade now, formerly Joey Cement. Um, Absolutely love that guy. But we were talking to him, and Kingsley was like, "Yeah, Brandon didn't have a choice when it came to setting rings up. Like he'd just walk over and grab me and be like, 'Come on, Brandon, like help with this ring now. Like put these ropes on.' So we'd like hook the ropes on, and then he'd be like, I'd have Kingsley and Duke and stood in the ring going, 'Okay, how many rotations on the tensioners for the top rope?' And if I got it wrong, they'd like pull faces at each other, and I'd feel like I'd messed up the entire show. Like I was nowhere near debuting at this point, but like they're getting me to like build rings and put chairs out and like basically take control of like setting up shows. But looking back at it now, like that stuff was so beneficial for me because I can walk into a venue now and like almost set a ring up on my own with my eyes closed because I just know where everything goes, and like I don't have to look at the ropes anymore to feel the slack. It's like I just give it a quick twang and I'm like, all right, that needs 4 rotations, this one needs 3 rotations, like, and just like fixing rings as well. Like at House of Pain, like me and my tag partner Davey Thompson, we're normally the ones in charge of setting up the ring while Styx does all of the like behind the scenes management, organizing where all the chairs are going, organizing where everyone's sitting, organizing music, entrance ways, things like that. He just sort of leaves me and Davey to the ring because he knows it's in safe hands now because we've been building rings for years. So we can just put them together like it's nothing and they'll always come out good. So it's wonderful to like have those people around the school who all know how to do individual parts of a show day because it takes the stress off everyone else.
That's it. You're working as a team. It's a group effort kind of thing. But that's cool because obviously that's another. That's just something else that you can offer. To a promoter when you go to a show, when when you're getting out and about, showing your face. The promoter sees you doing that, and they're like, "Oh, okay, that he's awesome in the ring. B, he's awesome out of the ring. He knows what he's doing, kind of thing. If we ever need somebody with that knowledge, Bosch kind of thing." And like I said, yeah, Kingsley, I think it's one of those things where the tough love works because it just makes you better. It just makes you better. It just makes you sort of offer more to different people, kind of thing, and just being able to be like, I'm not just here to do a few moves and put on a match. I can help out with this, and this as well.
Absolutely. When I look at show days, the day starts as soon as you leave your house. Like on the way to the show, like advertising the show, put up an Instagram story, retweet your match graphic, retweet the show poster, do a quick share on Facebook, you know, try and hit as many audience as you can on the way. And then once you get to the venue, it's meeting and greeting all the other talent, the promoters, all these people. And then it's like, okay, now let's get the ring set up. Let's get the chairs laid out. Now let's go and organize, like, where am I on a card? What do I need to get out of this match? Where's this storyline progressing to, kind of thing, all the way up until you then leave the venue. Like, I look at it that you're in work mode that whole time. There is no,
Right.
like, I'm just going to rock up here, do my match, and then I'll just lounge around for a bit. Like,
Yeah, that's such a refreshing sort of mindset as well, kind of thing. Because a lot of people have it now, kind of thing, but not as many as you would think, probably. But it just, yeah, it makes all the sense in the world. Why would, yeah, it's a great way to look at it. Like sort of saying, just the social media side of it. Get to the venue, doing what you're doing afterwards. It's just makes you look. The key word is professional. It makes you look like a professional wrestler. You're doing all these things which are part of your job, which not everybody kind of thinks about, or not everybody does it. And it's the little things. I've spoken to a few promoters who have kind of been like, they'll mention names. And they're like, I'm just so amazed by the person. They did this, or they did this little video, after the show, or they did this, or they did this. We didn't ask them to. It was just they did it because they thought, it would help. That's the kind of but they get remembered, and it's like, okay, if I need somebody, they're going to be first in line, kind of thing. That's what they think about. So
I do need to improve my social media game in that aspect. Like, I'm quite new to social media. Like, growing up through school, I never really used it. It was only when I actually started getting into wrestling, like into my career, that I was like, damn, I need an Instagram, like I need a Facebook. Like, I'll be honest, my mum runs my Facebook page because I have no clue how to use it. And then Joey Slade has been like my Instagram coach. Like, he taught me how to put like sounds on my Instagram story, stickers, links, all these other things. And Kingsley's been like showing me how to like grow engagement. He's like, instead of just posting photos, like take clips from your matches, put a trending sound on it, things like that. And I'm like, boys, I never knew any of this existed. Like, this is all it's like learning a whole new language to me. I'm just sort of overwhelmed and baffled, but I'm like, I do need to get grips of this, because this is like 40 to 50% of what wrestling is nowadays is all online. So
definitely, it's getting eyes on you. Basically, think of yourself as a brand. You're advertising your brand, on a free platform, which is the social medias. And just I know some people, not everybody uses Facebook much anymore. It's always either Insta or Twitter. Twitter's hit and miss for some people, but everybody I know sort of uses Insta purely because there's no words needed. It's just pictures, or it's just videos. It's the reels, and as a wrestler, it's not everybody wants to read what you've got to say, but they want to see what you can do in the ring.
So that's why TikTok's doing really well at the minute as well for a lot of wrestlers. Because it's
visual.
just short 10-second clip. Here's what I've been up to. Give it a watch, give it a like, maybe repost it onto the next video. People's attention spans nowadays have gone down so much. They don't want to read huge paragraphs. They just want a quick 10-second clip of, here's a cool move I hit over the weekend. Give it a watch, give it a like, give it a share, onto the next one, kind of thing.
That's it. And then you get that. I mean, I said that Poison Rana man on Kingsley, that would be a perfect 10-second clip. Bam. Get Joey to sort out some like just earthquake effects when his head hits the mat. He moves it, hits in. Jobs are good. That's it. That's your 10 seconds. But Joey's shout out to Joey. When you mentioned him, obviously, when like that, I love Joey. Joey's an amazing, and if he's somebody else. I mean, you started young. He started young.
Yeah, he was 9 when he started. So I think that's incredible. Like, he's 18 now, so he spent half of his life in the wrestling world, which is just astonishing to me.
And I made sure we was chatting, and he was saying that he was turning 18. He's again somebody else never done a podcast before, kind of thing. He's like, right, I'm turning 18. It's a big moment. I kind of want to talk to somebody about it. So I was like, dude, let's have a chat, kind of thing. But again, I've spoken to a lot of people from your neck of the woods. So I love House of Pain. I love, so much talent has come through there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, anybody who knows me knows, I big up Pursuit all the time. But, as much as I big up Pursuit, I love House of Pain. I love like Future Shock as well over the other side, kind of thing. Because I mean, you guys like Franco Fate, Alton, obviously Brady, Ivy, Joey, Davey. Davey's name's come up loads. Your tag team partner.
Yeah, he's a great lad.
It's just, yeah.
But then, like, even if you look a bit further past that, like, you've got people like Joe Connors, Gabriel Kidd, like these people came from here as well. Alex Gracie, Lucas Archer, like those are the people I grew up watching, and now it's like to see where they've got to from the school I'm training at. Like that's what I use as motivation. Like I see Gabriel Kidd like tearing it up in Japan, and like we went to the same secondary school. Like his house is 10 minutes from where I live. Like this is a guy who grew up in my area, and he is absolutely huge in wrestling right now. Like, so I look at it, why can't I hit that level one day as well, kind of thing.
Dude, 10 years time, that'll be the story, or that'll be the promo. That would be you bad-mouthing me on the mic, being like, I've been in your shadows for the last 10 years. I live 10 minutes down the street. We went to the same school. We went to the same wrestling school.
No chance. I could never say a bad word about Gabe. I absolutely love the guy.
Promo, working kayfabe. If you want to work heel, you've got to slag the man off. And be like, no, I'm better than you. So, but yeah, obviously, Joe Connors, obviously, through House Pain, you got Elevation as well, which is, another avenue for you to go down. I want to bring up, obviously, Future, because, that's another promotion that I like to share as of when possible. And I've been able to do it a lot recently due to, Alton and Franco and guys like that. I'm looking through doing my research. I'll talk about Alton. You had a championship match against him a while back at Future.
Well, we were supposed to.
Did not happen.
But no, he had to drop out due to injury.
Oh, dude, sorry, man. I saw the graphic. I couldn't find the match anywhere, but I saw the graphic, so I just presumed.
Yeah, no, that was a match I was excited for. Just for the fact that the last time I wrestled Alton was probably 5-6 years ago now. I used to have a top knot like man bun, and him and his tag partner, which is actually Barricade, the guy who got me into wrestling, they cut my hair in the ring. That would have been 6 years ago-ish, because I remember having to go to GCSEs the next day, and I bailed school because I refused to go in with the haircut that I was left with, because no barbers were open on a Sunday. So I straight up refused to my mum that I'm going to school that day. She then rang my auntie, who's a hairdresser, to come and try and save my hair, and that went even worse. So I was like, look, I don't want to talk to anyone. Like, I'm going up to my room. I'm gonna hide for the evening. I'm not going to school tomorrow. First thing I'm doing is going straight to the barbers. If my hair's savable, I'll go in the afternoon, and that's what I ended up doing. But I think that was the last time we actually wrestled each other properly. We've had like minor interactions here and there since, so I was just really looking forward to like showing him what I've got now, because me 5 or 6 years ago compared to me now are two completely different wrestlers. So
I'm down here, like up to here now, kind of thing. And again, it would have been like, let's say, the good dynamic. Same as like the Kingsley thing, the big guys, the fast guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, when most people kind of rewind again a little bit, obviously, like you said, when most people get into wrestling, they're drawing inspiration, from like, I don't know, Jeff Hardy's or the AJ Styles, or people like that, or Guerrero's. Obviously, your source is the live wrestling in Nottingham. So when you start training, do you kind of go in then kind of being like, right, I'm going to do all the high flying stuff, I'm going to do all the flippy stuff, or did you go in and just, right, I'm going to be technical? Did you have like a move set in mind that you were going to work towards, or is it just a case of, right, let's see what I can do, let's get the fundamentals down? Then I'll start experimenting.
Kind of just went in with like a really open mind of like, I want to learn as much as physically possible so that I can have like such a vast knowledge of offense kind of thing. Like I did want to learn like high flying things. I did want to learn like powerhouse lifting things. Even though I was quite a small guy, like I still wanted to be able to lift people. But then I was also like, I want to be able to tie you up in a knot at the same time, or I want to be able to just punch you in the face and kick you in the head kind of thing. So like I just went in with such an open mind to I'm willing to learn anything. Like give me all this information, and then I'll just cipher through it all, pick out bits I liked, take out the bits I didn't like, and then I'll just build around that.
Nice. This is where I'm going to show my age, and you're just going to look at me and be like, huh? It's basically like something out of the Matrix. I can just imagine you just being sat in a chair and then just uploading different styles of wrestling, and then just being like, I know high flying now.
Yeah.
There you go. So
No, I just went in and was like, I was just making friends with so many people. Like that's another thing I love about wrestling is the friends you can make in it. Like I've made so many great friends in wrestling already. But it was like I wanted to make friends with high flyers so that they could teach me how to fly. I wanted to make friends with big guys like powerhouses so they can teach me how to lift. I wanted to make friends with technicians so they can teach me how to tie people up. I wanted to make friends with strikers so they can teach me how to throw strikes kind of thing. Like, but then I wasn't like that. That almost sounds like I was using those people. Like it wasn't in that sense of I only want to be your friend so I can learn off you. It was like you're a cool guy. I want to be your friend, but now that we're friends, can you also help me improve as a wrestler? Kind of thing. So that's just the approach I went in with. Of like I just want to learn off as many people as possible, as many different things.
that makes sense. Yeah, it didn't sound knowledgeable. It didn't sound like like freaking hidden incentive or motive or anything like that. It was I totally get what you mean, kind of thing. It's like basically, why would you not, kind of thing. You want to surround, but also if you've got that circle around you as well. Again, from people I've spoken to, they also say it's nice to have 3 or 4 people that you can show a match to, and they can be honest with you. They can critique it, and you'll be like, okay, right, cool. That's how I'm going to get better. You need to tell me I fucked up, or you need to tell me what I did wrong.
Brutal honesty is what you need.
Yeah.
Like just people being like I've sent matches to people before and they've been like, oh dude, like that was so good, like I loved it. And I'm watching it thinking, you're wrong. Like either you're just watching it thinking, I'm gonna lie to him so that he likes me, or like you're not critiquing it as much as I want you to. So I have got those like few people like Joey, Davey, and like Brad Matthews, like he's good for critiquing matches. Like when I have like these big matches, I always send them the footage, and I'm like, my phrase is shit on me. Like I want you to tell me everything I've done wrong. I hate coming back from a match and being like, how was that? And all I get is like positive feedback, because then I can't improve on that match. Like, okay, it was a good match. Yeah. But how do I turn that good match into a great match? Then how do I turn that great match into an incredible match? How do I turn that incredible match into a generational match kind of thing? Like, this is what I want to do. I don't just want to have a good match and you're like, that was a good match. Because then I'm going to forever be having good matches. Like, so when people are giving me that whole like, no, that was really good, man. Like everything you did out there was really nice. I'm always like, just shit on me, please. Like,
you don't want
tell
to become
me
complacent.
everything. Yeah, tell me
you don't.
everything I've done wrong. I don't care how
That's
small it is. Like, even if it's just like you took one too many steps on this moment here, like tell me so that then I can cut that extra step out and just smoothen everything up. Like I wanna be told I'm shit, essentially, so that I can forever keep getting better.
Good, makes sense. If you stop striving to improve, you just become complacent. I don't want to say you go backwards, because you don't go backwards, but you don't get any better.
You get stuck.
You just get stuck at that level. You build yourself a ceiling, kind of thing, and it's just like you're never going to get through it. So let's talk about the badly dressed boys. How did that come about? Because I love the idea. I'm not supposed to love the shirt, but I love the idea. It's a fucking hideous shirt, which it's meant to be. So we'll let that slide. And that, how did that all come about? Was it just sort of like you decided to form a team, and you're like, right, okay, what can we do? What's not been done? Just spitballing ideas, or is it in reference to something?
No, so the Badly Dressed Boys originally didn't have me in it. Davey Thompson was teaming with a lad called Brett Hero, and they were the original Badly Dressed Boys at House of Pain. And then they were in a storyline against Big Man Inc., Adam Bolt and Jackie T. So those two were having like this mini feud, and I was caught in the middle of it. And Big Man Inc. were like, you should join our team. Like, we're the better team. Like, your fashion isn't the best, but like, we can help improve you. And then the Badly Dressed Boys were like, Brennan were like, we love your style. Like, we think your fashion's great. So I ended up joining the Badly Dressed Boys, and we were a 3-man team. But that only lasted about 2 or 3 months. Because Brett Hero moved to Skegness to live closer to some of his family who live on the coast that way. And then me and Davey were kind of looking at each other going, we've got to make a decision here. Like, do we carry on being the Badly Dressed Boys and teaming together? Or do we kind of disband it now that Brett's left? Do we change the name? Like, what kind of path do we go down here? We just decided to keep everything the same and see how it ran as me and him instead of him and Brett. And then from there, we kind of just like kept going up and up and up. And like now we're like tag champs at wrestling in Northampton, win wrestling down there. We team at like places like Future. We're putting on a best of 5 series against Big Man Inc. in Beeston for House of Pain. Like, we're just going from like strength to strength as a team, and because we're such good friends as well. Like, he was one of the helpers at my open day when I first started wrestling. So like, he was one of the very first people I met when I started my career, to now we're like best friends. Like, me, him and Joey Slade are all like, we call ourselves the work colleagues, because we all teach at House of Pain. So like, Davey takes some lessons, Joey takes like kids lessons, and I sort of fill in like when Styx isn't around taking lessons. And we've all got these, I'll show it you right now. We've all got these bright yellow staff jackets, which I absolutely love. They've got the logo on, says staff on the back. The black stripe down the arm is very the bride from Kill Bill. Like, absolutely love the jackets. But we've got like full uniform that we can wear. And we ended up making a group chat called the Work Colleagues, so that we can just discuss like, okay, Davey, you took the Monday session, what did you teach? Because I'm taking the Thursday session, kind of thing. And that's how we kind of grew close to each other as a trio. And then it was like, we'd all send our matches in that we had and be like, boys, have you got any feedback for this? And then we started hanging out at like the wrestling school with each other, and then we all just kind of meshed. And now it's like, we're all like brothers to each other now. Like, we don't just talk about wrestling anymore. We can literally go to each other with any problem and like help each other out, like whether it's work, shoot life, relationships, family. Like, we're all there for each other now, and it's absolutely wonderful.
That's amazing, dude. Love to. Like I say, I knew Joey and Davey were close as well, kind of, because I think Joey mentioned, like every year, around about the same time every year, they have a match, and it's kind of weird. You could kind of just see like, the journey upwards, both of them, kind of thing. So that's awesome. It's just like, say, it just makes, because that's what I always kind of get from the wrestling as well when I talk to people, when they sort of say, when people are nervous about going to starting training or going to school, after a while, it's kind of like, well, everybody's here for the same reason. We've all got this one common interest, and that's the building block. You get close, you start talking about other stuff, but that's the first thing. Obviously, everybody's got in common. Why wouldn't you get on, kind of thing? So,
When I first went, I was super nervous because I was like, what am I going to talk to these people about? But then you realize, like, we're all at a wrestling school. Like, every conversation you have can start about wrestling and then bleed into something else. So you haven't really got anything to be nervous about because you'll find people who you have common interests with. And like Davey, he actually found his missus through wrestling. So, like, incredible connections can be formed in this world that we all live in of wrestling. But it's just about like having that first conversation with someone. But like, you don't need to be nervous about what are we going to talk about? Where's this conversation going to go? Like, you just start talking about wrestling, and then whatever happens, happens.
That's it. Like I
So,
was saying, it's just having that icebreaker. It's just an icebreaker
yeah,
that's straight away. I think I was going to mention the tag titles as well, obviously, because I kind of changed the graphic for this episode at the last minute. I had like a picture from Tidal, I think it was, just as the
yeah,
viewers got
yeah,
graphic, and then I clocked the picture on Instagram of Mr. Brandon Two Belts just like strapped to his waist. I was like, that's a much better picture. I'm using that picture for this graphic. So
yeah.
was that obviously one of them's win, isn't it? He says.
Yeah, so we've got the win tag titles. They're actually on my shelf up there. I always have both of my belts up there because then every time I walk into my bedroom through my door, I'm greeted at eye level by both the titles I've got, and it just reminds me of where I've got to in wrestling. But yeah, so we got the win tag titles. We actually won them in a match against Joey Slade and Ivy, who were the tag champs at the time.
Yeah.
They were the main event family, but we were trying to we were talking to him and we were like, look, brother, like, we're your best friends. Like, we all call each other brothers. Like, these people are sort of putting a ceiling on where you can get to, but like, we're here to help you grow and elevate past that ceiling now. And then he ended up sort of sticking by his family for a bit until they lost the titles, and then he sort of realized, like, yeah, the Badly Dressed Boys were right. Like, these people are just limiting me. Like, Ivy, even Brady Phillips was there, and like, they all kind of played a part in the downfall of their title reign in the end. So helped me and Davey win the belts. Joey wasn't too gutted because it kind of showed the true colours of the people around him, like who's actually there for him, who isn't there for him. So that's how we ended up winning the win tag titles. And let me just double check how long we've held them for now. I've got it
I'll just
written
sort of say
here.
while you're checking that. Of course, yeah. I mean, I meant again to go back to when Joey was on. He had he was on about the titles, having won the titles with Ivy at that point, and he was sort of saying, like, his he actually referred to it as his wrestling family. So like Ivy and
Yeah,
Brady, and then you had like the messed up sort of brothers and sisters, which was like him, Adam Bolt,
yeah,
ZZ, Jackie T.
yeah,
So it's cool, but it definitely seems like kind of touching on real life closeness and incorporating it into storylines.
yeah. It's just, I feel like things like that just make things seem more real because it is more real. Like, we are genuinely close friends. So it's very easy to portray that to a crowd because everything's generic. Everything is like raw emotion of what's actually happening. Like, we could have a legitimate conversation about how close we are because we are close. Like, me and Joey had a match, and like, some of the things that the commentator was saying over over the match when it was released after are like genuine experiences that we've had together. So things like that, it builds that like emotional connection to the crowd because they're listening to it and they're realizing, like, these guys are legitimately close outside of the ring, outside of what we see of them. They are really good friends. So
It does, yeah. Like I said, it's just as wrestling fans, obviously from this side of the table. Also, you've sat on both sides of the table, kind of thing. But yeah, you know what it's like when something's genuine, or there's a sense of genuineness to it. If there's like sources of truth, then it feels more genuine. And as fans, we get more emotionally invested, as you sort of said. And then like we know how close you are. Like, you know, if one of you turned on the other one, if like, you know, somebody just did a sucker punch out the blue, we would legitimately be like, fuck, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So it, like I said, it just helps telling stories, and that's it at the minute as well. British wrestling is got to a point now where, mate, I think you guys are just telling stories. You know, it's everybody's kind of gone for a while. It kind of went off into like one-off matches. This is great. This is great. This is great. But there were many stories being told at one point. Whereas now, it's like people being like, right, okay, if we want to retain the audience, if we want to get them back every few months or every month, we need storylines. We need to get them hooked. We need them to be emotionally invested. And
it's just like, if you can tell a story, you can create emotion. And that's what people want nowadays. Like, that's what wrestling used to be. And it's that whole thing of like old becomes new again. So like, if you can get in that ring and tell a story and create emotion to the fans, like, they're going to be more invested in what you're doing than the one-off match that was on maybe 2 matches before you, kind of thing. And then it's that story and that emotion that's going to bring them back next month and a month after and a month after.
Definitely. I'd be amiss. Obviously, I dropped some names earlier as well from House Pain. Just mentioned then ZZ and obviously Adam Bolt and Jackie T as well. You know, 3 amazing people who are also coming from that school. I've picked up Adam Bolt so many times on socials. He's like a British Dolph Ziggler to me. Sorry to make reference to him, but he just sells. You know, he could sell ice cubes to an Eskimo. That guy is just like, wow.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Adam Bolt at the minute. Just because, like, I used to like really respect his in-ring work and like what he was capable of, but in our best of 5 series, like, he's kind of taken it like too far.
Liberties.
Almost like, it's no longer like, so this best of 5 series was brought around to just show who the better team was. So it was like each match had a different stipulation. So the first match was just an ordinary tag match. The second match was a tornado tag match. The third match was an elimination tornado tag. And then recently, for the 4th match, we just had a tornado submission match. So it was just meant to prove like who are the better all-round tag team. But then him and Jackie have kind of made it a bit more personal instead of professional. By like going after my mum, and like in the submission match, the reason me and Davey lost is because they dragged my mum into the ring. So I was in a crossface with a kendo stick in my mouth as Jackie is holding my mum in the corner with a like security baton across her face. And it wasn't like the pain of the submission or anything that made me tap out. It was the fear in my mum's eyes of like, 1, why have I been brought into this situation? 2, if Brandon doesn't give up, what's the next step that they're going to do to me? Like, am I about to get hit with this baton? Like, I could see all of this going on inside her head. And then that's what made me tap out. And just like, it was like, as soon as I tapped out, I went straight to my mum, because she was down in the corner, like bawling her eyes out. So it's like they've taken it now past a professional standpoint of wrestling, and they're just sort of going the completely underhanded tactic and making it very personal.
Is it? I presume it's 2-2 at the minute then. So you got that 5th match going to be happening.
Yeah, so we've got a 5th match coming up now. I'm not sure what the stipulation's going to be, but I'm not going in there with the intention to wrestle.
That's what I'm saying. He's shot himself in the foot. Well, it depends on somebody's mindset. Sometimes people can get that angry that they fuck up, whereas other times people get that angry that it's just tunnel vision, and you just would never say die. You're winning regardless, kind of thing. So it's either I can kind of see why. Obviously, it's a shitty thing to do, but you can kind of see why he's trying to get under your skin, slightly unhinge you, make you fuck up in the next match. But on the flip side, dude, he's probably shot himself in the foot and lit a fire under your arse, and you're just going like 1,000 miles an hour and just not stopping, basically like a juggernaut.
Yeah. It's gonna be the second one. Like I'm going in there now with the intention to make sure that he never wrestles another match again. So he's
Well,
sort of brought this on himself.
yeah,
But yeah, I'd like to end the conversation about Adam Bolt there, if that's all
yeah,
right, just because
okay,
I can
yeah.
feel it
I know what
building.
yeah. It's a chilled conversation. It's chilled chat. Yeah, sorry, dude. I didn't
Yeah.
mean to start
No,
it
no,
with
it's
it.
all good. You didn't know, but
But we'll just sort of say karma's a motherfucker when it happens. So
yeah.
point there. So obviously, yeah, Bloody Dress Boys, future. You did. I'm going to pull on this because I saw the graphic. I'm hoping this match didn't get cancelled. You against Franco.
Trying to think. When was this one?
That was a future one as well. I think I just saw the match graphic for it, so it would have been a while ago, I presume. Franco looked young, to be fair, so it may have been a few years ago. But
Me and
Franco's
Franco
again.
have met a few times, so
He's
they
one of
all
those
kind
guys
of
that just
blend into one now.
not a problem. Sorry, dude. Like I say, I was just trying to find stuff and get the match graphics and looking at things. I'm just
No.
looking to see what kind of popped or what got my attention. Obviously, Franco's one of those guys where I think Franco's awesome. So I'd love to see that match.
Franco's incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. I got a lot of time for Franco. I got a lot of respect for Franco. Like his in-ring work came on leaps and bounds in such short time that he managed to just explode onto the scene. And like some of the stuff I see him doing now, I could never dream of. Like the deathmatch scene. God, I've got a lot of respect for those guys for doing what they do, but I don't think I could ever do it. I'm young, I'm handsome, and I don't want to ruin that. Essentially,
No, keep the face, Although, man, that could work as well. I can just imagine you coming out like just some sort of facial mask cover, like that, protecting the face. Anywhere but the face. I mean, Joey's into it now. I've seen Joey turn up at Kumite
yeah.
with Spellbound. But yeah, again, another name. I'd be amiss if I didn't mention. I'm talking House of Pain. I'm talking all these guys. I don't want to trigger his social media team or send them any alerts. But obviously, Sash. I know you've not had many run-ins, but I know you did have an encounter about a year ago.
Yeah. I think Sash is hilarious, to be honest. Like his whole mindset around wrestling is incredible. He's just here for the money. He doesn't get paid by the hour. He doesn't get paid to have these long matches. He gets paid to turn up and wrestle. So, like, I understand from his perspective of I just want to get in there and end a match as quick as possible because he's got other business ventures to go on as well. Like, the man is absolutely minted. I've seen his house. He gave me a lift to a show once, and I was just almost overwhelmed. Like growing up in like council houses in Colton to then seeing someone living in a house like that, I thought, bloody hell, this
That's
this is insane.
that's the dream, though, man. That's it.
Yeah,
You sort of keep doing what you're doing. It's just, but yeah, it's nice to speak to somebody who's kind of. I know he's called me a dosser, he's called me a hoe bag, he's called me X, Y, and Z. But it's refreshing to hear somebody speak nicely of Sash every now and again.
I'm sure he'll call me all those names as well. So I'll probably get one in. He's a toe rag. He is a scumbag. I don't necessarily respect his methods, but I understand his methods. I know that he's not a people person. He doesn't like fans. He doesn't like dealing with people in a lower class to him, as I've heard him say multiple times to people at meet and greets and things like that. But I can understand it from his point. Like, he's got all this money, so he doesn't necessarily see why he has to.
Yeah, no, I tell you, yeah, why waste time? His time is money, so why waste
Exactly.
it on there's little people kind of thing. So, no, yeah, like I said, I don't agree with it, but I understand it, and fair play kind of thing. So yeah, obviously, going forward, we're talking future, we're talking, tag titles, talked Tidal Wrestling. I see, mate. You're only 21 still. You know, it's still. I've just said that. I'm just kind of like my mind's just gone out of my head. Your booking radius is going to expand, I reckon. You know, over the next 12 months, kind of thing. I just think, like say that Tidal, everything else you're doing everywhere else, it's just you're building momentum. You sort of you're building up speeds. You're getting better with every match, kind of thing. You know, what promotions do you want to work at? Because I don't want you to. So I don't want to put you on the spot. I don't want you to feel bad if you say this promotion or not this promotion kind of thing. But what are you looking at over the next 12 months? Are you kind of looking at more titles? Just obviously getting better and better. Is there anything you want to do that you can think of to say?
Well, me, Davey, and Joey were actually having this conversation the other day about like where we all want to hit with wrestling next. And my dream has always been to be like a national wrestler. Like I don't really see myself being on TV and like walking out to WrestleManias because that's not what I grew up on. I grew up on the guys touring the country, sort of going from here to there to there to there, like doing shows all the time kind of thing. So that was my original goal starting. It's still my goal now. Maybe once I hit that level, if I hit that level, then I'll look at going a step further and maybe going international. Then if I hit that level, then and maybe I'll be like, right, now it's time that I can look at getting on TV. But for now, it's just becoming a national wrestler. Like I just made my second appearance at Wrestle Island over the weekend. That place is incredible, like lovely people there. I've made some great friends from there who I now talk to outside of wrestling. Like we play PlayStation together. A lad called Tom McCall, absolutely love him. Like me and him have such good laughs on Warzone, and it's like these are now not just wrestling associates, but like they are my friends now. So I'd love to like go to that northwest area a lot more. And hit places like TNT and Atomic and like venture,
Infamous.
yeah, Infamous, branch over to like Future Shock and places like that. Like that northwest area is where I'm sort of looking next to go to, and then from there just kind of seeing what happens. Like I just want to get my face everywhere. The term is it like everywhere like dog shit or something? Like I just want to be all over the place kind of thing.
Like
And
flies on dog shit.
yeah, that's the one. I just want my face everywhere to the point that people are like, I'll give him a shot, I'll give him a shot, and then suddenly I'm popping up here, I'm popping up there, I'm popping up down here kind of thing. And then like pressure makes diamonds and pressure makes carbon. People either crumble under pressure or they harden under pressure. And like growing up, I used to be a goalkeeper for a Div 1 football team. So like pressure isn't really something that I crumble under anymore, because we were in like cup final penalty shootouts like every month. And I was the guy who had to try and save as many of 5 penalties as I possibly could. So I grew up under pressure. Like it's not really something that gets to me anymore. Like I get the nerves, but then once I'm out there and I get through the curtain, all the nerves die off, and I'm like, this is what I want to do. This is what I was born to do. Like, go out there and show them why I've been given this opportunity, kind of thing. So, like with that Tidal booking, it was like, I've been given this opportunity. I need to prove why I've been given this opportunity, kind of thing. And I want to be proving why all these other places should be giving me this opportunity as well. So, but it's just about getting those opportunities now. So that's the next step for me.
I retract the flies around dog shit thing. I don't think that's right. I don't like the sound. We'll just call it networking. Basically, you just want to network the shit out of everything.
Yeah.
Get out there. As I said, the pressure thing's obviously not an issue. Like so we talked about that at Tidal. I can vouch for that. You know, I've seen you in person. You know, rock up at Tidal, absolutely freaking smash it, and then you saw the results the next day, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, working at Wrestle Island as well is huge. Again, another company. Love to shout out Wrestle Island. Pete is amazing what he does over there. The community they've built, what they do for the community there, the shows they put on. They had an amazing show at the weekend. Obviously, you know, freaking Lance and RPD round 2.
That was an incredible match.
Tommy Jackson versus Joseph Connors as well.
Yeah.
That was Tommy's fucking in at the deep end. Is your first title defense, is Joseph Connors. But he stood tall. But yeah, I think Wrestle Island was amazing. And again, it's another promotion where you can just go in and be you kind of thing. You can go in there and you can work the crowd. You can put on the matches. You can get people talking about what you do, and they'll talk about it, mate. And they'll be being like, right, is he coming back? Is he coming back? Right, oh, we really liked this guy. I know at Tidal, you know, I've spoken to Taj, and Taj was like, you know, she was so impressed, kind of thing. And so I'm kind of like, you know, I keep saying, right, when's Brandon back? Right, we need, like, let's sort it out. I want to see you back. I know the Tidal fans want to see you back, kind of thing.
I'd love to go back to Tidal.
It's just doing that, mate. Like this is like say, it's just that one chance, that one promote, that one shot. I'm freaking going to start quoting Eminem then for a second, like fucking 8 Mile or something. But yeah, you got to give them one shot. You know, you're not going to, you didn't blow it. And I think the more promotions that you turn up at, and whether it's the stars aligning again or what somebody can't show up, you turn up. I think every opportunity you get given, if you do what you did at Tidal, if you do what you do at Wrestle Island and everywhere else, like I said, that's why I said your booking radius is just going to fucking expand over the next 12 months.
Hopefully.
So, that was a lot of compliments in one shot there, dude. Apologies, I'm just kind of overwhelmed. It's basically me saying like you're awesome for the last 2 minutes. So
no, I appreciate it. It's very humbling.
But it's true. I'm not saying anything, you know, that's I don't believe. So, but yeah, Wrestle Island are awesome. Like I said, though, just over that side, if you can kind of get your foot in the door. And I know all of those guys talk to each other as well, you know, over that way, kind of like Peter, Jay, you know, King. So you impress one of them, you know, you're getting good words spoken about, yeah, and then they'll be like, okay, you're right, now he's on my radar.
Yeah.
But yeah, Infamous is a huge promotion. Soft Pro as well. I'd love to see the badly dressed boys rocking up at Soft Pro for a tag match.
Hopefully. We'll just have to see.
I'm going to pick your brain. This will be the last question, dude. I'll let you get going because I've just clocked. We've gone over the hour mark. Sorry, mate.
It's all good.
Obviously, you work singles. You've worked tag. What do you prefer? Do you have a preference, or do you kind of just enjoy what both offer in different ways? Is it just? Now, some people prefer to do tag because you know it just gives them more room to experiment. Whereas obviously some other people are just like singles. Me, look at me, kind of thing. Do you have a preference, or are you just easy?
I do prefer tag wrestling. It was always the thing that caught my eye growing up, like going to shows, watching the tag matches. They were always the matches that I was amazed by. And I think it's just the fact that now there are 4 people in the ring instead of 2. It adds so much creativity because you've got more bodies to work with now. So it's like instead of hitting a move on one guy, you can hit the same move but on 2 people at the exact same time. Or like with Davey, like he can set someone up in a position and then I can hit them, or we can both hit a move on one person at the same time. And I like to get creative with it. So it just opens up like a whole nother door of creativity of, okay, because you can still run the one-on-one stuff in a tag match. Like I can still do a small sequence in a tag match on my own against one person, but then we can also get the second guy involved and he can be part of the sequence, and then Davey can get involved and he can be part of the sequence, and then we can get all 4 guys involved and we can all be part of the sequence. So I just think tag matches allow me to be more creative, and I tend to have more fun in a tag match. But that doesn't mean I don't like working singles wrestling. Like I love singles wrestling as well, because that's what I started doing. Like that's what I did for the best part of maybe four years, like when I started wrestling. So I got very comfortable being singles wrestler. Got loads of different spots and sequences I can do as a singles wrestler. Managed to establish myself in front of crowds as a singles wrestler. So like singles wrestling is something I can do. It's something I love doing, but that like tag wrestling always has my heart. It always will have my heart. I just think being in the ring with your absolute best friend, like there's no better feeling for it.
Dude, funny. Again, it wasn't a one or the other kind of thing. I'm not trying to get you not booked as a singles. I'm not trying to sort of any promoters watching just being like book him as a tag team. You can do both. It was just like, as you sort of said, from a creative point of view, just from that energy. It makes it just makes sense. Obviously, tag team wrestling is going to be more creative. You've got more bodies to work with. You've got more things you can do, like you sort of said. And it's just, depending on whether you work in face or heel, you've got the opportunity to work up the crowd. If you work in face, you can get that hot tag spot. You can't get that hot tag spot in a freaking singles match. Or, if you're the bad guys, you get that kind of heat from just cutting off the ring. Just being an absolute douche and just be like, no, mate, you're staying over this side of the ring. And just letting that build and build and build. So yeah, I'm a massive advocate for tag team wrestling. I love tag team wrestling. When it's done right, it's amazing.
Ironically, I absolutely hate getting the hot tag. I love being the guy that takes the heat and like getting that sympathy for us. And then once I finally make that tag and I roll out and I lay on the floor and I hear the huge pop that Davey gets when he gets in and the pops for all his moves that he's hitting, and I'm just laying there basking in the noise, catching my breath for a moment. That's the bit I love. Like I love the drama you can build in the heat of like, okay, is he going to make the tag now? No, it's been shut down. Oh, he's a bit closer to making the tag now. Yeah. Like those are the moments I love in tag matches. As we said earlier, it's telling that story and it's creating emotion for people to buy into.
That's just the littlest things as well. It's just the littlest gestures, the little movements. It's just it's magnified tenfold. It's just pops. So right, that was my last thing. I said I would let you go. Social media, obviously, as we sort of said, you've got good people looking after you, guiding you on the socials. Where can people find you on the socials?
Let me have a look for you. So my Instagram is BrandonBrooks02. But then we also have a tag team page that is the_badly_dressed_boys. And then on Twitter, I am Brandon B. Brooks. So those are the two main places to find me.
Awesome. Obviously, when this gets uploaded and we share it on our socials, we will tag you in everything anyway. So again, hopefully, if you're watching this, you follow us on the socials. Please click on Brandon's name, follow his account, see what he's up to, see what shows he's at. If he's on a show near you at any point, go check it out, buy a ticket, show some support, cheer if you're meant to cheer, boo if you're meant to boo. Just enjoy yourself and feel the electricity of live wrestling in person. And dude, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Hopefully it wasn't too painful. You've enjoyed it and it wasn't.
No, I've loved it.
Cheers, dude. That's good. But obviously everybody else, as always, hit us up on Insta, WTLS316. Or on Twitter, it's WTLS420. Sorry, 420. Sounds weird when I say 420 like that because it kind of gives it away. But WTLS420, and just obviously hit like, subscribe, share, comment, do all the generic stuff that I ask you to do after every episode. And we'll see you again very soon. We've got Brad Matthews on soon, so keep your eyes open for that one. And that's it. I'm out. Brandon, thank you so much, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me on, brother. I've loved it.
Not a problem. Right, we'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.